Hey guys, welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and horoscopes. Today we're going to be doing a reading for you guys born in the year of the dog. I do apologise that it is a couple of days late, but as I have said previously, it is going to be like this for the next couple of weeks or so because it is a very busy summer for me. Once we get summer out the way, it will go or should go back to normal, and that's when I'm going to start doing more videos on the Chinese Zodiac, like conflict lines and affinity triangles and catalyst cards and karmic cards, all the cards, and we're going to go and do videos on them to go into more detail. So hit that subscribe button and you won't miss those. But for today, we're going to see how your week is and what forecast we've got for you. So let's just move these around. We'll stop about there for my dog friends. And we'll take that one from the bottom. We'll take that one from the middle. We'll take that one from the top. What have we got? Okay. White and two blacks. Dun, dun, dun. Two black cards. And it's always easy when you see the black cards to be like, oh no, negative, oh that's going to be a really bad end to the week. But we don't know that yet because black isn't always an attack, white isn't always all right. It all depends on their compatibility as we flip them over. So we start off with the ox card in the white. Now the dogs and the ox can get on well together. They are actually quite compatible in some ways if they have similar interests or they have the same circle of friends or, you know, do the same sort of things. That aside, this is a thinker card. We got the thinking going on here, the mindfulness, slowing down, reflecting, revising, observing, almost like an investigation of sorts. I think right now it's hard for you to have sympathy for people because you're seeing a lot of stuff that's going on around you. It's almost like things are catching up with you now, and it's like you were blind to it before. You had the blinkers on a little bit, and then, oh, now you see it. Now it's there in front of you. Now there's a lot more to consider and question than you originally thought. That ox is a good card in that positive place though, because right now it's telling you that you need to be uncompromising with this. You need to be very thorough with this. You need to be disciplined. You need to be on it basically with this investigation that you're kind of conducting. And it may not even be as sort of like dramatic as like, oh, it's an investigation or, you know, some sort of conspiracy. It could just be a simple, you know, reflection on things to reconsider your position. It's an interesting one, this ox card, for a dog person, because you're already quite a deep thinker anyway, and you're already going to think about stuff. But you are from the triangle of talkers. You are a communicator, not necessarily a thinker. The ox is a thinker, that thinker triangle. These people, if you think you can think, the ox, snake, and rooster are like 20, 30, 50 times more a thinker than you. But you're a great communicator. So potentially this is a message of, let's just keep that think before you speak mentality. Oh, the black dog. Interesting. So you're really not feeling yourself. You are actually observing things. You're looking at things in a completely different way right now, where you're doubting yourself a bit. I think right now you're feeling a little bit, I don't want to say used, but it's almost like something's using you. And you're getting sick of it. You're seeing it. You're seeing it now for what it actually is. Dogs get on really well together. So this is actually a compatible card for you. It's not a bad card. The problem is there it's a protective card. So you're protecting yourself. You're in this deep think mode and your communication is being kind of stunted because of that. And that's put you on a defensive. You're now in this protective mode. You're now looking at a kind of way out or a way to deal with it where you could actually overcome it in a sense of triumph over failure. You want to succeed here. But the idea of failing, the fear of failing, the fear of, you know, I suppose getting it wrong is holding you back and putting you on this defensive. And you're vigilant with this as well, which is good. This is good. You need to remain vigilant because I think right now you are potentially looking at trouble that may be out of your depth. It's above your pay grade. And that's what you need to think about. You need to consider these things. And like I say, think before you speak. Because you could say the wrong thing. You could end up putting yourself into a bit of a stuck situation. You don't want to get stuck. Right now, this ox is moving slowly, but it's moving. The dog is in a protective place, but it's not hindering your progress. Obviously, we don't know what this is. This could be, you know, a bad card, if you like, or an incompatible. Let's say that. There's nothing bad. There's no bad cards. There's no bad readings. There's no good readings. It's all a matter of perspective. So you'll take it as you will. As I've said before in previous videos to other signs, we're not here to big things up. We're not here to hype things up and be like, oh, you're going to win the lottery, or you got all these white cards. Look how positive things are for you, you know. And we're not here to downplay things or take things away from you either by saying, oh, look at all those positive cards. You must be in a great place, because even when you're not in a great place, it could always be worse, you know. And it's the same with the black cards. They're not always bad. It could always be better, yes, but they're not always that bad. That dog card in the black isn't that bad, but it does say or suggest that you are in a protective place and you're being defensive. This could lead to you being argumentative or pushing back against people, especially if you're feeling threatened. I think right now, your cooperation, communication, these things are what are blocked. And that's not you. As I say, you are a communicator, and a communicator who can't communicate becomes a thinker and then overthinks that. And then we get these blockages. But it's not all bad, because we do have this catalyst card here. As I've said, if you want to know more about the catalyst cards and the thinkers and the communicators, hit that subscribe button, because we will be doing these videos in the future. I will be doing them when I have the time in the future after summer. But we have that catalyst card there. Now, the sheep and the dog, they can get along. You know, they do share some things in common. And it is a catalyst card, so change is going to shift in. It's going to push forward. So potentially you're going to come out of this. But that's not necessarily a good thing if that goat is in a black place. The catalyst cards are a bit of a tricky one, because they do instigate change. They manifest change. However, sometimes those changes aren't what we expect. Those changes aren't what we would necessarily desire. Those changes aren't our preferable option. And that's okay if we can deal with it, if we can handle that, if we can actually take it on the chin, go down swinging and get back up. However, sometimes when it's the goat catalyst that comes in very abruptly, very quickly, very kind of in your face almost like it's a challenge to kind of cope with it. You know, not maybe cope with it, but to deal with it, to actually make it happen, to make it work, to make something good from it. You know, it comes in and it smashes through the door and it's such a mess. You think, how can we put this back together? How can we get a positive from this negative? The goat is a good card in many ways, because we can resist change, and you could avoid the pig catalyst, and you could potentially ignore the rabbit catalyst, but there is no avoiding or ignoring the sheep catalyst. And this is why I think this protective stance you're on is because you can see this coming, you can feel this shift, and when it happens, it's not going to be a preferable outcome for you. I'm not going to lie. I think it's going to make you very insecure. I think you're going to start questioning things. I think right now you are, I don't know, in some ways questioning everything around you, putting that thinker head on. Something's triggered this. Something's triggered you to become withdrawn. You need to figure out how you can unblock yourself, because, as I say, a communicator who can't communicate is going to become an overthinker, because you're not expressing yourself, you're not getting it out. But we'll find out, won't we, next week when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the dog. I'll be back later with a reading for the boar, the rat and the ox. So if you are interested, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned. I will see you then. If not, well, we'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Love and peace.